This NBA gambling scandal has been absolutely insane, and it can shape the NBA and make fans just not want to watch. But the players been talked about this, and the officials made it obvious. But I didn't realize how serious it was until the FBI read off the charges.
3 of the named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York.
Clearly, the players and the coaches aren't the only one to blame. Adam Silver is largely responsible for this. But the fans, we let the NBA get away with nicknaming a referee. Scott Foster's nickname is the Extender, meaning he would extend a series from 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever things that he got the call for. Carmelo Anthony and Rasheed Wallace said years ago, the NBA is just bigger than the NBA. They know stuff they probably shouldn't know.
Long story short, David Stern suspended me out of everybody 15 games. Everybody else got like 6 games, 7 games, shit like that. And I go speak to him like, why you do me like that?
What did he tell you?
Man, your rap sheet.
A rap sheet? Man,
look.
NBA rap sheet.
NBA shit. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
This is what he told you?
This is what, in his office. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA? You fucking with a corporation now.
Yeah, you're doing stop snitching.
You're gonna leave that alone. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Damn.
So I'm like, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you got to cut them off. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck?
But with the referees, that's why I was just saying, as I got older, I didn't have to do all the cussing or come with attitudes. No, I'm just hitting them with logic now. Like, oh, so y'all got that email last night, huh? Oh, then they flare all up. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know about y'all email shits. No, let's not forget that. I know about that. Man, look, it's been an ongoing
you're
war.
Referring to emails from the league with, this is what we discussed in Whistleblower, but emails from the league that are telling the referees to officiate the game in a certain way and against certain players.
Yeah.
And so you were cognizant of that at the time.
Oh, yeah, I was very, because to me, I saw it. And he'll tell you what I always used to say. Y'all making it too obvious.
I thought he was crazy.
And that brings up a very, very interesting point. Back in the early 2000s to around 2010, Rasheed Wallace was in the NBA. And he used to look flat out crazy arguing with these referees. Like, he was one of those players that if a call didn't go his way, now he wouldn't just move forward and go along with the game. It could be an important game. It could be a non-important game. He's not letting it go. He would continue to attack the referees and go at them to the point where I'm sure his bank account got extremely light from dealing with these referees. You fast forward to today's day and age, you got Chris Paul. Now, he's not as demonstrative as Rasheed Wallace, but his point is still the same. When he gets a referee like Scott Foster, he is very boisterous and very aggressive with Scott Foster because he feels like Scott Foster is not calling the game fairly. He feels like it's got to be another angle, another element that's making Scott Foster operate in this way. And now it's being revealed some things, not necessarily about Scott Foster. This is just alleged. But with Scott and some of these other NBA referees, obviously like Tim Donahue, who admitted to cheating games and fixing games back in the 2000s with the Lakers-Kings series. But these other referees like Scott Foster, who had contact with Tim Donahue, they said around the time of the scandal, he had about 130, 140 calls to Tim Donahue. Now, what was that about? That still hasn't been talked about and still haven't been proven on what that's about. And that's kind of been swept under the rug. But now you're going at these athletes, and majority of the NBA is really black. I mean, what is the NBA, about 80, 85% black? And you're saying that them and the coaches are largely responsible for this whole betting and gambling ring. And That's clearly not the case. Later on, we're going to see who else was involved. Hopefully we see who else was involved, or maybe the people that's at the way, way top got too much money to even know who was involved. I mean, we're talking about millions upon billions of dollars. We're talking about way more money than the NBA. Carmelo and Anthony alluded to, like, pretty much the NBA, they know everything about everything. This is not just about a basketball dribbling on the court and fans saying, yeah. This is way bigger than that. This is so much money tied into that where people's families is taken care of. You know what I mean? You're talking about people that know what's going to happen on this day at this time when it comes down to outcomes of games, putting large amounts of money on games, and their family generations are taken care of.
But if you look at, we interviewed Michael Franzese, who's a former capo in the Colombo crime family, who says that he had 2 NBA referees who were not Tim Donaghy on his payroll, as well as NCAA referees. And if you look at the mafia at that time, it seems like this was just commonplace. There was referees left and right who were using their whistles to influence basketball games. And Donaghy's relationship with Scott Foster is something that we need to investigate today in 2020.
Did you get a chance to talk to Scott Foster and explain the relationship with Tim and Scott Foster?
So Tim and Scott Foster entered the NBA the same year in 1994. They were best friends throughout their 13 years in the NBA. They, during the peak of the scandal, exchanged 134 phone calls.
This is well beyond what you think as a fan when you're putting on your hat and your jersey and you just want your team to go win. Like one of the sports analysts said a while ago, you got about 32 teams in the NFL, and just the one that didn't win the one that won the Super Bowl are not the only one that's successful. That's not the only team that's successful. You see it right now with the Cowboys. A lot of these fans are calling out Jerry Jones because he's not putting out a winning product on the field. They feel like he is not putting a winning product on the field. They think he cares a little bit too much about the money. Now, Jerry Jones is already a billionaire. I'm sorry to switch sports, but Jerry Jones is already a billionaire. And for them to accuse him of only caring about the money, it just shows you how corrupt a team could be, let alone how corrupt a whole franchise, a whole corporation can be. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is your boy Rick One Ball. Hold on. Clearly, the players and the coaches aren't the only one to blame. Adam Silver is clearly the players and the coaches aren't. Clearly, the players and the coaches aren't the only one to blame. Adam Silver is largely responsible for this. But the fans, we let the NBA get away with nicknaming him a referee. Scott Foster's nickname is the extender, meaning he would extend the series from 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever things that he got the call for. This NBA gambling scandal, this NBA gambling scandal has been in. This NBA gambling. Damn, I can't get it right. This NBA gambling scandal has been absolutely insane.